Hey, welcome back to Good Morning Arkansas, everyone. Now, can you believe that we are actually entering month 6 of this crazy COVID-19 pandemic? I know many of us at the beginning of it were doing a lot of social media and maybe binge watching some TV shows. You might have caught one of these shows. It's a new reality game show called The Circle on Netflix. And joining us here actually today was the top dog, Mama's boy. We have the crowd favorite, the overall victor, Joey Sasso. Thank you so much for hanging out with us here today. Man, I just want to know, how are you doing? Like during all this craziness, how are you doing?
Honestly, it's been very crazy because I kind of like sometimes you feel like you're the only person that's like going through this because I do not leave home. Since the beginning of all this stuff, I've been in quarantine. LA, the cases are spiking. It's unbelievable. So I just stay home. I work from home, only leave to go to the grocery store, grab food. Besides that, this is what I do. Like there's only so many shows you can watch. There's only so much music you can listen to where you're like, dude, what do I do to just feel normal again? So I'm looking forward to gyms opening up, hopefully sometime soon, and getting back to some sense of normalcy.
Absolutely. You know, I've probably rewatched The Office and Community 7 times through. So I totally feel you on that right now. So I just want to know, in the circle, right? You guys were kind of stored up in this apartment like thing, isolated, and it's kind of eerily similar to how a lot of us are feeling during this pandemic. What are some of those similarities you're seeing between that time and real time?
Honestly, locking yourself away and calling people and telling them you love them, you miss them, you can't wait to see them, but we can't be in person together, under obviously different circumstances now. I mean, I always tell people that Netflix is always kind of had their finger on the pulse, but there's no way they had their finger on the pulse how they ended up having it on the pulse. Like they could have never foreseen a pandemic coming. Like my DMs used to like literally say, how did you do that? Like, what's it like being in quarantine? How did you survive? And then it immediately switched to, oh my God, I feel like I know what you went through. I feel like you got us all trained for quarantine of like what we all have to go through right now. So the show has taken on a completely new life during the pandemic that I never saw coming in any way. And it's been really cool just to see people embrace it from around the world while being at home.
Absolutely. And who would have thought, you know, I feel like technology gets us in trouble a lot of times, but social media has really kind of been that thing that brings us together, which you guys showed that in the circle and now in real life. What are your thoughts on, you know, technology kind of being that glue that's holding us together during this pandemic right now?
I think that there's good things and bad things to it always. It's really funny because everyone looks at me as Mr. Social Media because I was on a show about social media, and I have never been a guy who's really even cared for social media, to tell you the truth. Like I was very old school. I never really posted much. I never cared. I can guarantee you, if I was not on the circle and that didn't happen, I would not be on TikTok. I would not be on any of those things. I'd be like, no, like that is not happening. That's just not a thing. So I think that there's benefits to it, but I think there's also a lot of detractors. I can also say during the pandemic, for me, that's how I've kind of kept my sanity. I mean, I think we all wake up in the morning and grab our phone and check whatever social media app for X amount of time. I've spent probably way too much time waking up in the morning, just scrolling and going through. But it is kind of crazy to me how it's just taken over the world. Like it really has taken over the world. And that's sort of the thing that drives everything now. Like that's kind of wild if you really sit there and think about it.
Absolutely. The advancements that we're getting just daily are absolutely crazy. Now, Joey, I want to know, so they're currently casting the second season of The Circle. How are you maybe feeling about the new innocent victims? I mean, excuse me, the innocent players that are going to be in that season?
Yeah, I think it's really exciting. I always have people write me and say, "Are you going to be in season 2? Are you going to do this and that?" And I'm like, "Dude, I don't have a reason to. Like everything went great for me. I can't see anything going any better. So I look forward to just sitting at home and seeing season 2 and seeing what happens as an audience member. And I think in the spirit of competition, I like to be the guy who goes, you know what, we were season 1, we did it first and we did it the best. Now you got to follow us. Let's see what you got. So I think it'll all be fun. I think it's going to be really exciting. I've talked to friends who are casting the show, who are doing everything, and everything is different this year based on the pandemic and everything that sort of happened. So they're trying to figure out how they can make the show happen as soon as possible.
True that. I know we're all just kind of figuring out that day to day, no matter if you're in TV in LA, here in Arkansas, whatever it is. So, Joey, the circle was kind of your launching off point, but I know you've been up to a lot of different things, including writing and starring in a film, and you're even kind of co hosting a new TV show. Tell me about those projects you've been in.
Yeah, I moved out to LA when I was 18 years old, straight out of high school. I'm an actor and I'm a writer. That's always been my passion. That's always been what I was driving towards doing in my career. And I was never a reality TV dude. Like I said, I wasn't into social media, I wasn't into reality TV. And it all just sort of happened. I made my first feature that I've spent 7 years trying to get made. I wrote it, starred in it, produced it. I came back from that experience just feeling so elated that I did this impossible task. And that's when a friend of mine was casting The Circle and was like, "You need to come in for this." And I was like, "I don't do reality TV, but okay, I'll go in and I'll audition for it just to make you happy, because you're my friend. I don't want to blow off this opportunity you're trying to get me." And every step of the way, it just all seemed to work out. And I think it's always those things in life that you aren't necessarily excited about, and that's why you don't have any expectation, and it just lets you go and do your thing. So yeah, I mean, it's just really crazy when you sit and you think about it, of how your life can change in such a short amount of time and you don't see it coming, and it happens that way. It's wild.
Yeah, true that. And, like you just said, we've been saying who knows what's going to happen just day to day going on right now. And I guess I just want to know, Joey, for those people who are really maybe struggling to get through this time right now, do you have any advice or words of encouragement for pushing through the rest of this pandemic or the rest of 2020 or whatever all this is?
Yeah, I always tell people when people are feeling bad or down, people always try to say, suck it up, get it together. I think sometimes if you're having a bad day, if you're not feeling good, I think it's actually more better to say, you know what, take the rest of the day to feel however you're feeling, because odds are nothing's going to change that right now. And sometimes we got to let ourselves feel like that just so we can snap ourselves out of it. So I would say, you know, if you're feeling down today, if you're not feeling good, take the time to go lay in your bed, lay on the couch, do what you got to do, let yourself feel it for a couple hours, but also know that when you go to sleep, when you wake up tomorrow and the sun rises, it's a new day. Every single person is going through this right now. Everybody is very frustrated, upset. If you got your health, you got your wealth. I truly believe that. That's, at the end of the day, all that matters. So many people have been sick or have lost their life during this insane time that the world has never seen coming. So I think even if you're stuck at home like I am, and I can find a million things to complain about, you got to try to find a way to smile about something.
Absolutely. Well, Joey, some really wise words there. I know a lot of people appreciate it. That's one of the things a lot of people have loved about you, is just how genuine you are and looking to that light at the end of the tunnel. So hopefully this gives some of our viewers at home some really good encouragement to push through. We thank you so much for joining us here today. And guys, if you haven't already watched The Circle on Netflix, I know Joey's co-hosting Faraway Bay, I believe it is. That's streaming on TV Co. Is that right, Joey?
Yeah, streaming on TV Co, live virtual dating show from all across the country. None of us are in the same location. It's pretty insane, honestly, that we found a way to pull this off, of being on a Zoom call that we can somehow stream and do this whole elimination dating show. It's pretty crazy.
Crazy stuff, sign of the times for sure. And if you haven't already, make sure you're following Joey and I on social media. Give us a shout. That's how we ended up meeting here, and I think it's been pretty good so far. But yeah, we're going to have more Good Morning Arkansas on the other side of this break.